back, quarterback rolling right. He's looking end zone, caught, touchdown.
Saturdays are sacred, a football podcast.
What is up, everybody? And welcome to Saturdays Are Sacred. And we are 1 day away from the national championship, the last game of the season between the University of Miami versus, was it IU? Indiana University.
University, yeah.
So we got a big time matchup here. Indiana looks like a juggernaut. Miami has a team full of athletes and are ready to roll and playing really good football. So hopefully we get a really good matchup on this national championship game. I'm super excited for it. But before we get too much into it, Cody, how are you doing today?
Doing good. I'll be doing a lot better. Patriots can win this afternoon, but this is a college football podcast, so we don't need to get into that. But yeah, excited for tomorrow night. Even though I think we're gonna have a good game. I'm hoping we have a good game. But yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of good football is being played right now. Obviously, if your team is still playing during this time of the year, you're doing something right. And there's a lot of teams that are trying to figure out who's going to be that magical portal quarterback that they can get to hopefully get them to the promised land, or at least to a deep playoff or a playoff run or appearance. And so the portal has been kind of moving and grooving over this last weekend. The portal is now closed. And there's been some, shocking developments, I guess you can say. Darian Mensah from the Duke University quarterback who has been rumored to enter the portal and now is looking to be going to Miami.
Yep.
So that's a shock because, he did the same thing last season or the previous season where he left Tulane and now is headed and then went to Duke to play football. So what do you feel about this Mensah leaving to go to Miami potentially?
Yeah, it was funny because he was gonna stay with Duke and everything. There was no question there. And then all of a sudden, because Miami was okay, who's gonna be their quarterback next year? Obviously, Carson Beck's gone. They have a freshman that probably isn't ready. It's you missed out on Sam Levitt. You missed out on other guys. You missed out, I guess, on Dylan Raiola, although he's going to be backup now. So I guess he could have jumped back into the portal. But yeah, it was interesting to see. And it's this is the part about the transfer portal that kind of bothers me a little bit because it's this is clear tampering, but every team does that and every team has it happen to them basically. Because he wasn't in the portal. He was on their team. I don't know if he was signed to a deal with NIL. I don't know what those are now, but it seems to be that's what teams are doing now. They're signing people to NIL deals. So they hold them down the Damon Williams situation. I don't know if something like that was going on with Darian Mensah, but it's this is clear tampering. You went after him knowing he wasn't in the portal to force him to go into the portal. And then I think he even went in with the whole non-contact tag thing. So it's all right, well, we know where he's going. Right. You're the only team out there that hasn't gotten their quarterback for next year. Every other team that was supposed to get a quarterback got a quarterback. So yeah.
And LSU is out here tripling up on quarterbacks.
Right.
And, obviously probably losing one of the quarterbacks that they mostly wanted was Chambliss, and he decided to stay at Ole Miss.
Right.
But yeah, we know Miami, their track records, they are very aggressive at getting their quarterbacks in the portal the last 2 years with obviously Cam and now Carson. So I think Mensah is a good quarterback. He didn't play as good as I thought he was going to play for Duke. And don't get me wrong, I think Duke has some solid talent, but I think he might be able to shine a little bit more in this Miami system behind that great offensive line that they have and some weapons. So I think, and then probably factor in that he's getting probably $10 million. I think that's what the rumor was. He's getting $10 million to go to Miami. So pretty nice little payday, I would say. So, yeah. We got to figure out the tampering rules because it's
right.
Obviously all these kids have representation. So whoever who's representing him, they were just, hey, we want to offer you this if you jump in the portal or whatever. So, and it's like, I mean, obviously he was getting, I think he got like $4 million, I think at Duke. So definitely doubling the pay. Obviously them Miami being ultra aggressive just to make sure that they can continue their success.
Right.
But like that just, I mean, also like it's cool for him, but at the same time, it makes me like, because I'm a big developmental guy. Like I'm big about players developing and growing and like taking a chance on these kids. And it's just like you already ruled out whether or not like already like this player is not going to be good enough for you. Like you haven't even seen him in the spring yet. You know what I mean? He hasn't even gone through the workouts. Like and so I think that's just what was just like kind of, it's wild to me. It's like you didn't even give this kid a chance, and you already, and because now that your backup quarterback who might save you because there's a chance, you know, whatever happens through the season, you know, injuries or whatever you, and then next you know he's like he's upset because you just ruined that relationship because he thought he was next in line and he grinded in the system and been here.
Right.
So I don't know. It's college football is so crazy right now, and
yeah,
I don't know what to think of it.
Yeah, and that's so like obviously like the games and stuff like that are still great, but that's the part that bothers me is these kind of things happen because there's no like there's no rules, there's no guidelines. Like if in the NFL, if someone's not a free agent, you can't just be like, hey, you should just jump in the free agent portal and like we'll get you. It's like that doesn't exist. You have to reach out to the GM and you have to get a trade. But it's like in college football, you can technically just talk to the guy. You can DM him on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. You could DM his whatever agent, and you can talk to him that way. And then all of a sudden, that guy's in the portal. It's like, okay, well, that guy had no intention to be in the portal. But you just threw $10 million at him. So, yeah. So that's with Damon Williams. Like, pretty much everybody is kind of convinced that Lane Kiffin jumped in his DMs and like, hey, we'll take you in LSU. But I guess Washington actually got like a legit contract under him. So it's like, hey, if you're going to do that, they have to pay us for like you. So it was going to be too much. And that's what it should be. Is like, if you're going to sign like these NIL deals, they need to be like binding contracts. Like you can't just be like, oh, it's a contract, but like, is it really? Because there's no like binding there. So if that's the case, then the tampering should stop a little bit, but it's not really the case. Like Damon Williams is more of like a one-off there, where there's been a lot of guys who've been tampered with who are technically under NIL deals, but they weren't like signed contracts or anything. So they can get out, no problem. So that's just that part's kind of the worst part, I think, of college football right now. I think eventually it'll change because it'll happen to the wrong team or the wrong like program, and then shit will really happen. But as long as it keeps happening to like these lower, because like Duke's obviously in the ACC, but they're not on the same level as Miami. But once it starts happening to like an Alabama, to an Ohio State, to teams like that, maybe things will happen. But yeah, this is the part that I don't like the most because everybody knew who was tampering with him and everybody knows where he's going. It's like that should never be the case.
Yeah, and it's like the difference of like players who have like an NIL deal versus who have like rev sharing deals based off of that, you know, pie. And it's like, because I mean, in theory, like an NIL deal is basically just an endorsement deal. So it's like,
yeah,
you know, Nike's paying me this money, but it's like that's you know, obviously it's kind of through the school because they're a booster. They help pay for the school, so they're like a third party trying to, you know, for legal reasons. So I can see that. So, but I think we just need to clear it up. Like, where can money come from, and how does this money relate to, you know, eligibility and commitment to teams, and like we just have that conversation. I think that's where we can go because all these lawyers are, you know, finding loopholes. They're making a lot of money, you know, from these kids, which is like
a lot of money.
They're pretty much getting, you know, having to pretty much use half of their NIL money just to pay for the lawyer fees, just to get these like hearings done and stuff. So, but there is a rumor, and I don't know how true it is, now that Mensah is off to going to Miami, there's talks that Duke is going to go in for DJ Lagway and trying to flip him.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about DJ Lagway at Duke, or do you think a better fit for him to go to Baylor?
It's tough because like I don't really hold either one of those teams in like high regards as far as their offense. Like both their coaches are defensive coaches. Like Dave Aranda is a defensive coach, and then of course, why am I blanking on his name? Manny Diaz in at Duke is a defensive coach. But I mean, he hasn't signed there yet. He's technically committed, and that's another thing too that drives me crazy is both with high school and transfer portal, the whole committed versus signed thing. Like I don't. I see on Twitter, like when teams sell, it's like let's celebrate when he's actually signed. Like he can't instead of the commitments because those don't really mean anything anymore. But
even now, because I mean, so many players getting released from their national letter of intent after they signed. But I mean, I get with the Michigan stuff because obviously you sign and then be like, well, actually, scandal happens. So
right. But I think the better fit is Duke because like with Baylor. I gotta sneeze real quick, but I think we're good. With Baylor, it's like if Dave Aranda has a rough year this year, he's out. Like he's gone. But I think Manny Diaz is pretty safe. And I think Lagway needs like 2 years. Like it's not just he's gonna play 1 year and then go off to the NFL. I think he needs 2 years of starting to really like be a decent NFL prospect. So I think Duke's the better fit. I think Duke's the better program right now. Although Baylor finished the season decently. But like just overall going forward, I mean, Duke just technically won the ACC. I know they were like 8-5, but still, they won the ACC. They're kind of heading in the right direction. They're recruiting a little bit better as well. So I think Duke's the better fit. But yeah, it's just Baylor. You thought you hit. Sorry about that. You thought you hit a home run with freaking a Lagway, but yeah, Lagway seems to be that guy because he was kind of that way out of high school too. Like he wouldn't commit to Florida at all. Like he committed to Florida, but he was kind of still like flirting with other teams and then finally signed, I think on the February signing date, not even the January or the December one. Oh my God. Sorry. And so like, that's just kind of who he is. He's just very indecisive. So I don't know. They're probably going to have to maybe pay a little bit more, but if I'm Lagway, I think the better fit is Duke.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I think in terms of like the transfer portal, like guys committing and not going ahead and signing, it is weird. But yeah, like I think DJ, I don't even understand why he even committed to Baylor in the first place. I think they got him to commit like right away while he was still on his visit. You know, obviously he must have got wowed by whatever he saw and what he was hearing. Right. And so, which is fine. Like I get it. Like could be in the moment, but then it's like, well, I still had these other visits scheduled. You know what? Let me just do my due diligence. But it's like I think these kids can't be so pressured because I will give you like these coaches are like really good at like making sure that you stay in the building, make sure that they want to get that answer from you. Say, hey, you know what? Spend the night, just think on it, sleep on it, and be like, hey, no, we need an answer today. And then it's like, they put these deadlines on some of these kids and they pressure them to, especially, and then they got, something good in front of their face thinking like, this is the best place for me instead of, giving them time to think about it and make a decision from there, which I get it. Cause like, these teams are under crunch and they got to make sure that like, they get a guy in that they can move forward with. So I just think the whole process needs to refining at the end of the day. But I mean, we'll see what DJ decides to do. I think him at Duke makes a lot of sense. He kind of is a pretty style match with Mensah, and hopefully he can, against ACC competition, kind of really refine himself and really kind of move back to where he needs to be at. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him.
Right.
He's an interesting case.
Yeah.
There's actually one. So I just saw that Dylan Edwards has committed or has his crystal ball committed to Kansas. So he goes from Colorado to Kansas State to now to Kansas. And my thing with Dylan Edwards is like he like literally fumbled the ball week 1 on a punt return, then literally didn't come back into the game.
Right.
And then entered the portal.
Yep.
And so it's just like, what is going on with this kid? Like he left Colorado without talking to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think he originally was committed to Kansas State, so that was kind of like his, and it's close to home. He lives in Kansas. He's from Kansas, which is fine. It makes sense, whatever.
Right.
But then it's like after 1 week, then it's like I'm done.
Right.
And it's like, and this kid was playing as a true freshman at Colorado, so it's like,
Yeah.
and he's a solid running back, like he's a spark plug, but he hasn't been able to consistently do it yet. Obviously, from one reason or another. So I mean, he still has 3 more years of eligibility because I mean, he would have redshirted last year, started as a true freshman the year before, so he still have 3 more years if he were to use it. I mean, maybe go to 3 more schools at this rate.
Right.
But,
Right. It'd be like the running back TJ Finley.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope he does well, but like, man, like it's just these kids are getting bad reputations.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I get certain situations are different. Every situation is different, but like, well, you get a reputation of just like quitting on your team week 1 early on.
It was week 0 too.
Yeah,
There
like
was the doubling
early,
game. Yeah.
And you're like, I'm just gonna do it. And it's like, yeah, I get it, do what's best for you, but it's like you didn't even see if like what happened so much like from summer to fall that made you just like after what I mean, like because I think they had the game in Ireland, right? And
yeah, it was the Dublin one. Yeah, the one in Ireland. Yeah, it was like week 0.
Yeah, so it's like, did you hate Ireland that bad that made you just want to play football this year? Like I'm just confused.
Right.
There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, especially if you're recruiting him. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not that easy to really kind of.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. It's like you see it with a lot of kids. Like obviously TJ Finley's like the poster boy for it, but you had guys back in the day like Tate Martell and JT Daniels, and now with Malachi Nelson's on like his 4th different team. Like these guys are just bouncing around, and like, yeah, you end up on these teams. You end up on your 4th team, and it looks like you're still a freshman because you didn't get any development. You didn't stay anywhere to get developed. You didn't stay anywhere to like sit behind someone. And that's why it's like I'll give Dylan Raiola credit. Like he's staying in Oregon. He knows he's going to be the backup. He's probably going to take a redshirt year. Like he probably could have went to some random school and started, not been 100% healthy, and probably ruined his any chances of going to the NFL. But he would have got more money and he would have been the starter. It's like he'll sit behind Dante Moore, get healthy, and then you're 2 years from now you're starting for one of the better programs in the country, and you have a better chance of making it to the NFL. So it's like guys like that. And then Dante Moore did that 2 years ago. Like he left UCLA, went to Oregon, knowing that he was going to sit behind Dillon Gabriel, and now he's starting. Like if he came out in the NFL, I thought it was a good idea for him to stay in college, but he comes out this year, he's a top 10 pick, like easy. And then you're set up at least for the first 5 years of your career. And then all you have to do is kind of hit on a couple seasons and you hit the big deal for your second contract. Because I mean, if Tua can get onto Tua's second contract and Trevor Lawrence before this year, you can get to your second contract. So it's like guys like that. Unfortunately, those are rare. There's too many guys that are just chasing opportunities like Longstreet for USC. It's like, why wouldn't you sit behind Maiava for another year with Lincoln Riley? Okay, I'm going to jump to LSU. Okay, you're going to sit behind Sam Levitt. Like, okay, I guess that's going to help. But like, if Sam Levitt decides to stay another year, are you back in the portal again? Probably. So it's just too many guys chasing money and chasing like wanting to start right away instead of just like sitting behind someone developing. And then when you get on the field, you're actually ready to play instead of just being forced onto the field and not being ready.
Yeah, I mean, that's also really weird is the quarterback situation. Like I get that like LSU's trying to build the room out, but then it's like getting these quarterbacks like Sam Levitt and High Street is like that's. I mean, I don't know. It's just weird unless there's a specific plan that they sold to them that like, hey,
maybe
this is going to happen. And then even the Elon quarterback who, he is like he has the moxie that he's like, I don't care. I saw a video, I think, from his quarterback coach or whatever, and he was just like, I don't care what quarterback, I don't care if Sam Levitt comes here or not. I'm gonna beat him out, and I'm gonna do it. And I mean, he balled out at Elon. Obviously, he's a lesser competition, but like a kid who got some moxie is gonna grow, and I think who believes in himself, especially in the with the Lane Kiffin offense, if he can fix it up pretty fast, then it's like maybe Levitt doesn't come in and play. Maybe that could be a story to where, like similar to last year, where everyone thought Austin Simmons was going to be the guy to be, Lane's backup, and then you had a D2 quarterback come in, Chambliss, and blow everyone away, and that could happen again.
Yeah.
And so then can Lane be able to keep these quarterbacks for 2 years? Maybe not.
Yeah, it's hard, especially now that they're like 2 years in. Like now they're going to be juniors versus sophomores. Yeah, because if that Elon kid comes in and then Levitt's like, screw it, all redshirt, then is Longstreet back in the portal again next year? It's like, dude, you're just going to keep playing this game? Well, it's like he probably was in line to be the starter for USC next year because Mayava was a senior. He'd leave. But it's like now you're in a loaded room. Like you're in a loaded room with two proven guys. Like even though Elon's a lower competition, we just saw Cam Ward come from Incarnate Word and play well. We saw Chambliss come from Ferris State and play well. So it's like we know it can work. Mm-hmm. And Chambliss just did that for Lane Kiffin, who's your coach. So it's like he's probably gonna look at this Elon kid and be like, hey, like maybe this kid could be like Chambliss a little bit too. So yeah, it's weird. I think some of these kids are just getting some really bad guidance from like agents and some of us from their parents too. But that's why it's like there's got to be some sort of guidelines. You can't just let it just kind of be just crazy out there. But it doesn't look like it's happening soon. But we'll see.
Yeah, we shall see indeed.
Where do you think Seton ends up? I think he could happen at LSU.
I don't know about LSU, but I think it's for sure Texas or Miami.
Miami.
I think if he goes, I think he should definitely go to. Yeah, I think he should go to Miami just to coach under Cristobal, who is an offensive line guy. Like that makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, it's like Texas, I feel like, is gearing up for a big run next year.
Big time.
So I don't think he can go wrong with either way. Like he's going to be a first round pick. Like he's going to be probably the first tackle off the board. Like he's pretty good. Like, and that's like the fact that he fell into the lap of to Prime is crazy. And in fact, apparently he used the video he used to announce he's entering the portal was the video that he apparently was supposed to use when he just showed that he was staying.
Yep.
So, but I get it. Maybe he don't believe in Juju. Maybe he doesn't believe in this new system because like he gave him 2 years of his development, and obviously he came to protect the blind side as a true freshman for Shedeur. And so, like, I think that's kind of was his big selling point. But now it's like the whole quarterback situation last year was a mess, and I didn't think Caden Salters was going to be so bad last year. Like,
no, he was awful. Wow.
And it's like he never showed that at Liberty, which was like so surprising. And so maybe he might just be a system quarterback, and they just had a really bad system, and he just couldn't thrive. So Juju's still at Colorado right now, so I mean, he's supposed to be their future, and now they're bringing in a whole new offensive staff to run the go-go offense this year and see if that can really help, transform this Colorado team next year. But yeah, I think Seton either Texas or Miami. If I were to choose, I would definitely think he should go to Miami.
I'm with you there. I know that he was visiting LSU, but I think they're like a distant third. But yeah, I mean, if you just look at Cristobal's track record, he's an offensive lineman. His 2 tackles are going to be probably Maui Noah is definitely a first-round pick this year. He's probably a top 10 pick. Then the other side, the right tackle is probably at worst a second-round pick. So he's putting guys in the league. But yeah, Texas might be the biggest winner of the transfer portal with what they've done, like their running backs, obviously getting Cam Coleman. They've gotten some good line play too. Yeah, they're all in. Like I think someone said that when it's all said and done, they're going to have close to a $40 million roster, which is insane for college football. But it's like, that's a lot of pressure because like you're all in. But if you have another year like Sark did this year, that's probably it for him. Can't be spending $40 million to go 9-3. And it's like, okay, well, you're getting these players, but like, are you still going to be out physical just because the culture against Georgia? Because that's the difference when they play Georgia. Georgia just pushes them around. And you could tell like, okay, Georgia's about this culture. You're trying to be about it. It's like, can you switch that? They brought in Will Muschamp to be their defensive coordinator. They're trying to change that culture there a little bit. because Will Muschamp's not a good head coach, but he's a really good defensive coordinator. So it's like they're trying, they're all in for next year, and they'll probably be a favorite, especially because Arch Manning finished the year well too, played really well against A&M and down the stretch outside of the Georgia game. And even the Georgia game, he didn't play bad. They just got pushed around like big time. But yeah, they're all in. So maybe you just join that train because right now that roster might be the best roster in the country right now, but that doesn't always win because no one would say that Indiana has the best roster in college football.
Yeah, everybody was thinking Ohio State was going to kind of cakewalk to the Natty, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, and Miami has a really good roster, but would you say it's better than Ohio State, better than Oregon, better than Georgia and Texas? But it's like they're not like a definitive like top 5 roster. They're maybe defense or roster.
No, for sure. Going back to Landon Clark, who is a quarterback who transferred to LSU. Just looking at some of his stats, he's a redshirt freshman at Elon this past year, so he still will have 3 more years of eligibility if he were to be a success, maybe 1 more year if he had a really good year, if he wants to be a starter. But he threw 2,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 8 picks at Elon. So I don't know if he has any rushing stats.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's like the athlete that Chambliss is, but
he has about 5 rushing touchdowns, so he can run the ball a little bit too. So he's not a little bit statue back there. Actually, let me look at his full stats. I'm only looking at the
because Lane likes dual threat, so I think he's got to be a little bit of a dual threat.
Oh, yeah, he has 11. He had 11 rushing touchdowns, 600 yards.
Oh,
so just under 3,000 all-purpose yards and on 29 total touchdowns. So pretty good quarterback. So and young too. So you got a chance to kind of build with him. So that'd be really interesting to see. Also,
I think Elon made the FCS playoffs too. I don't know how far they went, but
they were 6-6. So.
Oh, they were 6-6. Okay, maybe it was somebody else then. Yeah.
Bryson Beaver, 3-star quarterback, transferred from Oregon to Georgia, which is I think is probably their replacement for
Curtis.
Curtis, who went to Vandy.
Yeah.
One move that I really like, because I was a fan of him, was Aaron Nolan. He transferred from Ohio State to South Carolina last year, and now he entered the portal. Now that Leonard Sellers is returning, and he's going to Memphis with Charles Huff. And so I really like that to see if he has opportunity to be the starter there. I think that'd be a really good offense for him.
Right.
And a surprise transfer that I didn't really see coming, but Malachi Nelson transferring from UTEP to Syracuse. So he got an upgrade, which I mean, this kid is was good.
Right.
We thought he was good, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's just bouncing around. I mean, losing. I think he started at USC, right?
Yeah, as a freshman. Yeah. Yep.
And then he transferred to Boise State. Lost the job to Madden.
Right.
And then went to UTEP.
Yeah.
I don't even think he played last year.
In spots, but yeah.
Like you transfer down and still get beat out. That's dang.
Twice.
And it's like to be this 5-star guy.
Yeah.
Which I mean, maybe you got to believe him if it don't work out in the first spot. He threw 1,100 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a 21.9 QBR.
Yeesh, ouch. 21.9 QBR.
I mean, he still will have 2 more years of eligibility.
Yeah, he redshirted his first year at USC.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, could that just be the talent around him? Could that just be him? Like, it could be a couple different things. I mean, Syracuse has been really active in the quarterback market because I think their team definitely went downhill south fast once their quarterback towards Achilles last year. And so now they bring in Malachi Nelson. They also brought in the Kennesaw State quarterback.
Well, I think they're loading up because they don't want the same situation that happened there this year where it's like your backup's so far like bad. So I think that's why they're just going to load up. And then so it's like, okay, if this happens again, we're okay.
Because I mean they got really good playmakers at Syracuse too. So like that was kind of like trying to get I forget the receivers. His dad was just going off on Twitter, just mad that like, bro, the quarterback's not good enough to get my son the ball. And it's like, he's trying. He's trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a long fall for that team. But
right.
That was interesting. But I'm really excited to see if Aaron Nolan can win that starting job at Memphis, because I think Charles Huff, I think Memphis is like one of the better Power 4 teams.
G5.
Or not Power 4, G5 teams. Just in terms of programs and how much money and resources that they have. Mm-hmm. And now that Charles Huff gets that, who's a great coach and is going to have a bunch of, he can recruit the heck out of players. I mean, he can turn programs around. He has turned programs around fast. I'm excited.
He was a Southern Miss coach, right?
He was what?
Southern Miss, was that?
Yeah, Southern Miss. And then the year before was at Marshall.
At Marshall, there we go. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see this team. Obviously, he's got a lot of Southern Miss players transferring to Memphis. But he's also getting a few guys. He got Terrell Simmons from Colorado, Kobe Keenum, inside interior offensive lineman from Mississippi State. So some interesting names. I mean, some lower tier schools. A couple Colorado transfers, actually.
Yeah, which is is he ever on Deion's staff or something like that? Does he know these kids?
I don't know, but it's just he's getting them in.
Yeah.
So,
it's funny, like these coaches that go to their schools, because it's like Michigan's basically like Utah North now.
Yeah, Penn State got like all of Iowa State.
Yeah, Penn State's all Iowa State, and even like Oklahoma State, it's a bunch of the North Texas kids are going there. It's just like, although I like what Oklahoma State's done. I think they'll be better. Mestamaker, I thought, was one of the better quarterbacks in the portal too. So I like what they did. And then like there's one guy that I'm interested to see where he ends up. Well, two, and they're both like edge players. It's I can't say his last name. It's Princewell from Ole Miss.
Oh yeah.
And then Damon Wilson from Mizzou. Like those guys could be like a real impact player somewhere. Damon Wilson's played on like 3 teams already, so he kind of just likes to jump in the portal. Maybe he just make that cash. Like, I go make $2 million, I'll make 4, and I'll make 6. Like, I don't know if that's how it works for him there, but yeah, those guys can make some real impact. Other than that, like outside of them, and then like Jordan Seaton, pretty much everybody's kind of committed that are like major like guys.
Right.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how this is a lot of activity, but we'll see how it goes. I think it was like about a third of the players in college football were in the portal.
Yeah, and coaches out here talking about, hey, like these players are hitting me back.
Right.
Say, hey, can I come back, coach?
No.
And then it's like, no, like
yeah. Like, sorry, you jumped in there. We didn't tell you to go in there. You jumped in there on your own. So we'll see you. Go play FCS for a year and then try to get back in.
All right, exactly. Go ball out and see.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it might not be a bad idea, to be honest, because I mean, if you just need playing time to show, because like people will find you no matter where you play at. If you're playing and contributing and doing well, I mean, I think that's what you need to do.
Yeah. Go to one of the North Dakota schools, ball out, or one of the Montana schools, ball out, win the championship, and then get back to the FBS.
Yeah, I'm looking at Memphis got West Florida transfer quarterback Marcus Stokes. There's people, he has some buzz in the portal as well. So they got 2 interesting quarterback prospects that are going to be competing for that job. So I'm curious to see how that turns out at Memphis.
Was Nolan a 5-star out of high school, or was he 4-star? I'm trying to remember.
I think he was a he might have been a high 4-star.
High 4. Yeah, because he was probably supposed to be the guy until Sayan transferred there.
Yeah, he definitely was going to be the guy at let me see. What's his initial? Yeah, he was a 4-star coming out.
4-star.
7th quarterback ranked. So 6'3", can move, good arm.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. I like him. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Shoot, Memphis, it seems like their coaches end up getting good jobs. Like Norvell went to Florida State, and then the Silverfield guy went to, was it Arkansas? I didn't love that hire, but I think he was Arkansas's coach. Yeah, he's Arkansas's coach now. So, yeah, you end up in the SEC or the ACC, bigger programs.
That sounds like what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think Charles Huff is ascending, so he might wind up taking that Florida State job in a year or two.
Right? Get that Memphis Florida State pipeline going.
Yeah, because honestly, he's accustomed to recruiting with programs who have not a lot of resources, going from Marshall to Southern Miss and turning programs around fast. It's like he knows how to do it. So if he's saying like Florida State's broke and has no money, then that's like I think he'll be all right with that.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this national championship game, Indiana versus Miami. Two teams who've had two different paths to getting here. Obviously, Curt Cignetti, second year under his regime. Last year losing 2 games. This year he's on an undefeated streak with the Heisman quarterback and a very mature team. Has this same staff that came over here from JMU. They're a really good team, man. They play really good ball, smart, sound. Can run the ball with 2 different backs. They have receivers that get open, and Mendoza's just keep getting better and better and just delivers perfect balls to the sideline.
Right.
Miami, on the other hand, is a team that's about hype. It's about athletes, about style, and they had high expectations entering the year because of the amount of talent that's on this roster, and it's like, okay, they should be doing a run. Obviously, one of the biggest question marks they had all season was Carson Beck, and could he lead them similar to what Cam Ward did to wins? And as a veteran quarterback who just be a good game manager, could Carson Beck do that for them? And there was some mistakes early, some wins when they needed to, but they steadied the ship and went on an insane run, improbable run, some would say, led by a really strong running attack and a good offensive line, like really a strong lines of scrimmage. They control both of them during most games.
Right.
Looking at the numbers, points per game or opposing points a game, IU ranks 2, Miami ranks 26th. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know what the story of this game will be, right? I just think who's going to make the mistake. And Indiana hasn't been a team that makes a ton of mistakes this year. And Miami is more prone to making those mistakes. So can Miami force Indiana to play outside of their game? Can Mario Cristobal channel his inner Nick Saban and keep his Miami team sound and mistake-free? What do you think?
I think that's the biggest key to the game, because it's funny because you'll watch the Fiesta Bowls when they played Ole Miss. Like Miami dominated that game, but they made critical penalties. They had a couple turnovers. They dropped 4 interceptions, and that's what kept Ole Miss around, and Ole Miss had a chance to win that game. Where it's you do that against Indiana, you're going to be down 20, 30 points. It's just going to happen because Indiana just doesn't seem to make mistakes. I think Mendoza has more touchdown passes in the playoff than incompletions, which is just crazy. I think he's got 4 incompletions and 6 touchdowns, something like that. They just don't seem to beat themselves. And it's like, yes, like that eventually you think eventually like, well, they got to do something. Like it can't just always be perfect, but you watch their games, like they run the ball well, they throw the ball well. Their defense is good. They have 2 corners that are probably going to be NFL players, especially Pons. They play good on the back end, and their front's not big, but they're just good. They're just consistent. They know what they want to do. They play their game, and they make you play their game, and then all of a sudden they're up 20 and they're just kind of rolling. So yeah, I think that's the biggest part, because Miami, like obviously you look at the game, and Miami's a more talented team, but so was Oregon and so was Alabama, and so was Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, and that just doesn't seem to matter. But like Miami, if they can get after, because no one's really been able to like get after Fernando Mendoza, maybe outside of Iowa in like the middle of the season, they can actually get after him with their 2 like first round pick defensive ends and do that. And then on offense, I think just run the ball with Fletcher, hold the ball, keep it away from Mendoza, run the ball, because like Indiana's blown out their first 2 teams, but Alabama doesn't run the ball. Like all season, they never had a run game. And then Oregon was missing their top running back in that game, so they weren't going to be able to run the ball that well. Fletcher's been one of the best running backs in the country this year. You have one of the best offensive lines. If you can just run the football and kind of keep away from Mendoza, I think that's huge, because like Indiana's going to get theirs probably eventually, so you're going to have to get yours a little bit. But yeah, I think limiting mistakes, like no stupid penalties in the red zone, like false starts, holdings, and you can't turn over the ball. Like Carson Beck's got to play a clean game. Like if we're looking up and he's got 2 interceptions, I think they lose this game. Like it's just not a game where you can have a couple turnovers or a couple random penalties and you win the game like against Ole Miss. Like you're going to have to play a really clean game and maybe try to force them into some mistakes as well. So I think that's the biggest key is, like you said, who makes the mistakes. And it seems to be Miami's the team that makes those mistakes, but they've been able to overcome them. I don't think they can overcome the mistakes if they do that this game.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. And it's like, obviously, if they can control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, which, I mean, they are definitely the more talented team in that facet, I think things get real uncomfortable because, I mean, if, say, I could see this being a really low-scoring game, because of, if Miami wants to play the line of scrimmage game, the time of possession game, and can finish with points, 3 long drives, putting up 21 points.
Right.
Then it's like, then it comes to, because I wouldn't say Indiana can score fast, but it's not their bread and butter per se. I think they can put together good drives, and they have a few shot plays here and there that, that based off of looks. But in terms of just being explosive, I think they're just a good offense, and they can break a runs here and there. But I think I don't know, man, I just think probably outside of the line of scrimmage, I think Miami owns, but I think Indiana might have the slight advantage on the secondary play, and I think that's probably what's going to come into factor here. Who's going to allow those explosives, and how many explosives can each team get? Can CJ Daniels be the X factor? Is it going to be Malachi Tony? Is it going to be Surratt? Who's going to be that X factor for their team? And I don't know. I think CJ Daniels is going to play a big factor in this game. That's kind of what I have a gut feeling about.
Right.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll have to be kind of, because I think Indiana will go into this game like, okay, we got to take away Tony. Like Tony can't beat us, so like Pons will be on Tony, probably follow him all over the field. So it's got to be the other guys. I think in the Ole Miss game they had their big guy was Kalen Marion, and like he had 114 yards receiving. So it's like it's gonna have to be some of these guys that you're like, who are these guys again? Like you said, CJ Daniels is going to have a big game, because if you're Indiana, you're like, okay, we got to stop Tony and we got to slow down the run game. And can some of these other guys beat us? And Cignetti will do that because that's what Saban did. That's what Saban did, and that's what Belichick did. Like, okay, we're going to take away what you do best. If you can beat us with these other things, then good for you. And so it's like, but yeah, so that'll be interesting to see if they can do that. And then can Miami's defense, can you get any sort of pressure on Mendoza? Because like he's I mean, he was sacked early on twice against Alabama. I think since then, I don't even know if he's been sacked. Like, I don't even know.
That's a good point.
Like he's just been able to pick apart defenses. It's been, but this will be the best defensive front that he's played. Like Alabama's got some good players. Oregon's got like Mateo Uyunglele, who's a pretty good player, but like the two ends, like Bain and Mesidor for Miami are legit first round picks. So this is going to be the best front they've played. And it's funny, like they've shown like the size difference of both lines. Like Miami's definitely bigger. Like they're bigger and stronger, but it's like I said, so was Ohio State, so was Bama, so was Oregon. It's like it just didn't matter because Indiana just plays so sound. So can Miami? I don't know. Can Miami get especially if they can get an early lead? Like if you can get an early lead, I think that's huge because Indiana's been kind of able to get up on teams, and then teams have to play catch up. They have to kind of get out of their offense, and then Indiana just kind of tees off on the quarterback. If you can get an early lead, then you can just lean on the run game, and then maybe it's a third quarter and it's still a game. So I think that could be huge too. But I don't know. I feel like everything you look at this game, and it's all about what Miami can do to keep this game close because it just feels like Indiana's going to do their thing. Like we know how they're going to play. We know what they're going to do. Mendoza's going to spread it around to their three wide receivers. They're going to play really good on the defensive end. So it's like what they're going to do, but I don't know. It's interesting because I think Miami's the best team that they've played in this run because obviously they beat Ohio State. I think they're better than Oregon and Alabama, but I don't know. It may not make a difference.
Yeah. Who do you think has the edge in terms of coaching edge in this game?
I'm going to go with Indiana and Cignetti. I like what Cristobal, I think he's taken better steps this year. Because obviously, like going into the season, it was like, okay, Cristobal can recruit like the best recruiter in the country, but like when it gets to like these close in-game situations, he kind of just like he screws up and he messes up. That hasn't happened too much this year, maybe outside of like the SMU game, I think. But I just trust Cignetti a little bit more in their staff, but it's not like a wide margin; it's close.
Yeah. No, I definitely lean Cignetti, and especially because he's won national championships before. Albeit, I think he's won that championship to Alabama then as a head coach at JMU.
Right.
So it's like I definitely give him the edge, but I think there's something about Mario that's like he's growing in the role as a head coach, and it's kind of funny because it's like he was the head coach at Oregon for a year or two.
Yeah.
They're really good at, recruiting some offensive line talent there. And then, obviously wanted to come back home to his alma mater.
Right.
And now he's doing the same thing at Miami. But, yeah, I'm definitely giving Cignetti the edge there. I think he's going to obviously be one of the X factors as well, just making sure that gets his team prepared and, situationally. Quarterback, I think that goes to Mendoza. He's playing lights out. But, I mean, Carson, I think the way he's been playing, especially against Ole Miss, that final drive where he really put together some really good throws when people kind of was like, oh, we got to put the ball in Carson Beck's hands. This is not going to be good. But, like, I've seen Carson Beck be surgical before, right? Yeah. And I think, obviously, he's not asked to do too much. And I think that's the key. But like I think when you need it to him, like, and then people forget that he can move. So it's like I'd be interested to see if Indiana uses any spies at certain down and distances to really kind of make sure that Carson Beck is not using his legs as he did last round against Ole Miss. So I think that's going to be interesting. But Mendoza, I think for sure. I mean, the same thing goes for Mendoza. I mean, you're gonna have to maybe keep a spy with Mendoza because he was killing what was it, Alabama and that's who they played last year, Alabama, right?
Yeah, and Oregon, yeah.
Yeah, Oregon, he was definitely killing with his legs. So it's like we'll see. Like I think will Mendoza be able to run away consistently from that from these linebackers that Miami has? Maybe not. Running back wise, I really like Roman Hemby. He was a Maryland guy. Transferred went to Indiana. I'm rooting for him to do well. He has been had a good season, but Mark Fletcher is a dog. He's a ferocious, like he's, behind that offensive line. It's like I kind of like the running back room a little bit more in Miami. Receiver wise, I think I like the receivers. I mean, this is pretty tough.
It's tough, yeah.
This one's probably pretty even. I think Malachi Tony is probably the X factor. CJ Daniels. I think CJ Daniels will be the biggest difference maker, but obviously if Malachi Tony can have another breakout game as the star he's going to be as a true freshman, I think that's going to help that program a lot. And for this game, I don't know. I still haven't decided who I think is going to win this game. I'm still torn because I feel like I'm over these playoff run of people who I think is going to win. So I feel like you should just Philly fade me the whole time, whoever I decide to vote for.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I've gone against Miami every round, so Miami fans probably want me to go against Miami again. And I think I don't know if I could pick against Indiana. Like 8.5's a lot though, so the spread's kind of crazy, but I mean, they've covered their last two games by like 20 something plus. So it's like, it hasn't been an issue, but I think this is a different team. I think Miami is that much better than Oregon and Alabama, especially at this stage. But I'm leaning, and I'm going to go with Indiana. The plus 8.5 scares me a little bit, but I'm going to go Indiana to win. The minus 8.5. I can't pick. This team just feels like they're just. I feel like we've seen this. This is like a Saban Bama team just without the names. Like you just don't know these names, but they don't beat themselves. They play really good football, and they make you make mistakes. And then when you make those mistakes, they basically capitalize on those mistakes. So, and Miami, the really good, talented team, but they're prone, like we've been talking about, they're prone to making these mistakes. And like, this is a big stage, although it is at home. So you got a home game. So that's kind of cool. But as we saw in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, like that game was basically a home game for Indiana, because it's like when they had the ball, it was silent. And then when Oregon had the ball, it sounded like they were playing in freaking Bloomington, Indiana, wherever they're from. But so it sounded like a home game. So I think Indiana's going to travel. And Miami, their fans are weird. Obviously, I think their fans are going to show up for the national championship game. If you watch like a regular season game, that place is kind of empty. It's like maybe 60, 70% capacity. This game, I think they'll obviously travel, and then they'll have all the legends there. You'll see Michael Irvin crawling on the sideline like he does. You'll see Ray Lewis there, Ed Reed, all those guys. So that'll be kind of cool to see. Where it's like Indiana, you'll see like, I don't know,
Mark Cuban.
Yeah. And then some basketball players. Maybe Isaiah Thomas will be there. Like you'll see like there won't be any like NFL guys. I think their best NFL player was like Antoine Randall or something like that. But yeah. For the Steelers back in the day, but I think that's the only guy I can think that was from there. There's and Tevin Coleman, but he was whatever. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I think obviously they'll be more pro Miami, and then it's always easier to just prepare because you're preparing in your home stadium, you're preparing in your home facility, you're not traveling at all. You're just, you're taking a bus from campus to Hard Rock Stadium. And then like Carson Beck said yesterday, I'm not on campus. I don't go to school anymore. I graduated 2 years ago. It's like, that's just college football in 2026. These guys are just mercenaries, basically just hanging around at these schools, even though they don't have to go to class. Yeah, and so
they have the facilities. They're pros, honestly.
They're basically pros. Yeah. So I think it'll be a good game. It'll be a better game than we've seen Indiana. Like, it'll be a closer game than we've seen Indiana play, I believe. I just think Indiana is just a little bit too much. And just the fact that Miami can kind of get into those mistakes really scares me to pick them. So I'll pick Indiana. The 8.5, like I said, I don't know if I could do minus 8.5, but it's close.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with Miami because I think what you were saying, you kind of convinced me just because it's like, had to remind myself, yeah, it is a home game. I think this will give them a different type of energy of backing. I think, reviving a giant that was so influential in the NFL. And I think they can possibly be on their way to doing that again. And really, like, if winning this national championship or even just being in the national championship this year, I think is only going to do so much more to this program and to really see Mario Cristobal put this program back on the map and be a juggernaut again. And I think he has the chops to bring the talent in. And now that, especially in that Florida area where he doesn't even have to work that hard because kids just can see themselves playing for them again, I think that's what's going to be the easiest thing for Mario to do. Obviously, he's going to have to probably keep working every single year to get a quarterback in the portal. But I mean, he's 2 for 2 so far. I mean, yeah, I don't know, something about Miami, man. It's just something about this Miami team that feels different. It feels right. I mean, I know Kurt is like, he's a big game player for sure, but I don't know, this Miami team, the way they're so hungry, and I think the fact that they're going to be at home, they're going to be rabid coming out the gate, which could be
big time.
Could be, will make them prone to making mistakes, maybe not being as centered and thoughtful, but like, I don't know. It's just, I think the energy that Miami's going to bring, they're going to bring that hurricane to them. And I think I'm going to roll with Miami. I think I'm going to roll with Miami and we'll see what happens.
Okay. I mean, I've been close with that because it's like, I do think that Miami is a different team. Like, it's just a different level where it's like with Alabama, like Alabama was so one-dimensional on offense. All you do is like just play back, stop their run a little bit, and then you just kind of rattle. And then Simpson apparently had injuries and stuff like that. And then Oregon, like they've already played Oregon and they already kind of pushed around Oregon, so they knew what to do. And then you start off the game with a pick six, and so that kind of just rattled their whole team. So this thing is a different animal. I think Miami is that team that if there is a team that's going to beat them, it could be this Miami team. It's just, I just don't know if I truly believe that Miami can do it. Carson Beck against that defense, like Carson Beck played great against Ole Miss. Ole Miss's defense does not stack up against Indiana's defense. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't have a rooting interest. I'm just going to root for a good game. Like as far as like a rooting interest, I could care less who wins the game. But maybe just Big Ten, but I don't really care. I don't do that whole conference thing. But it's like we can win 3 in a row and be like, hey, we're better than the SEC. But
yeah. So okay, there you have it. Our final preview of this season. We'll be back next weekend talking the results of the national championship and where we go from there. I mean, it's kind of crazy, man, like how this season has kind of flown by. Right. I've enjoyed it. It's been a pretty good season. Mm-hmm. And let's hope for the cherry on top tomorrow night. Yeah.
So maybe one of these years we won't have to wait till a Monday night to watch a game. It could be on like a Saturday night or something, but
it'd be great.
At least I got the day off though. It's Martin Luther King Day, so I got the day off, so that kind of works out. But yeah,
I also got the day off, so I am excited for that part. Yeah. Now, I mean, if Georgia was in a national championship, I would have took off Tuesday too. So
right.
Really enjoy it, but
right.
I'll just mosey on back to work on Tuesday.
Right. That's true. True.
But all right, thanks, Cody, for hanging out.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you guys for watching. Saturdays are sacred. We'll be back recapping the national championship game. Go Hoosiers, and rock you like a hurricane tomorrow night. We'll catch you guys next Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Have a great one, guys.
See ya.
Snap back, quarterback rolling right. He's looking end zone. Caught. Touchdown.
Saturdays are sacred. A football podcast.